from the post-millennial. D.C. police commander placed on leave over deliberately falsifying crime data. As attention has turned to Washington, D.C. and crime in the district in the wake of a former DOJ employee being attacked, it has been revealed that a commander with the Metropolitan Police Department was placed on paid administrative leave in mid-May after being accused of falsifying crime data. Commander Michael Pulliam?
I think it's Pulliam. But if you scroll down, look at what the police union head said about this guy. Wait.
Libby wrote it, so
No, I didn't. Hannah wrote it. There it is. When our members respond to the scene of a felony offense where there is a victim. No, scroll back up.
Where is that?
Where there is a victim reporting that a felony occurred, inevitably there will be a lieutenant or a captain that will show up on that scene and direct those members to take a report for a lesser offense. So instead of taking a report for a shooting or a stabbing or a carjacking, they will order that officer to take a report for a theft or an injured person to the hospital or a felony assault, which is not the same type of classification. So what they're saying is when there's a crime, a captain will show up when the police are doing their job and be like, you know what, this wasn't a carjacking. This was just pushing somebody down.
So what's the motivation for that?
The motivation for that would be to have decrease in criminal stats.
And then you get more money.
Then it doesn't look like your city's that bad.
Oh, so now the Democrats are doing a great job. Like this Democrat city is
cooking the books.
Cooking the books to make it look like the crime isn't as bad. And I was talking to this is DC.
Okay.
This is DC, and I was talking to post-millennial staffers, Hannah Nightingale, who wrote this story, who used to live in DC, and she was telling me that she's seen crazy stuff at the Navy Yard with just like gangs of teenagers going around harassing people and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Which DC is, DC is a mess anyway, and it has very poor leadership, and that's why Trump is trying to federalize it. But I thought that was absolutely crazy that this is what officers would do. A captain, a lieutenant.
Well, I mean, we've all known dirty cops. I mean, I
don't know any cops.
I've known a lot of police officers.
I know zero
I've grown up with them.
This is like a different kind of dirty, because usually dirty cops.
It goes the other way.
They beat the crap out of
and
you.
Then plant something on you.
This is like they're not beating.
And then they get paid off by the mob or something.
This is
kind of funny.
This is a lack of beating. This is like not enough beating the crap out of you.
Yeah, when we were growing up in Chicago, they'd plant stuff on you so they can write you a ticket. Right, now they're like...
We could use a little planning, actually, in this situation.
I'm curious, is he getting paid to do this? Because why would you put your job at risk? Like, what is he getting in return for falsifying?
It's gotta be coming from higher up, maybe.
Yeah, he's getting something in exchange
for sure.
to
it must be the
falsify
culture of the Metro PD.
You're not just doing it because you like Democrats.
But it's like...
It must be the culture of the Metro PD.
But it's like a school. If you're the teachers in a school, right? So the police officers are the teachers. You want it to look like the kids are doing good for the school. So if they're all lying together, then it's like
we're just giving the testing.
Our test scores are great.
Exactly. It's like
so
giving
it's the brotherhood working together. Be like, oh, this city's totally safe. Tourism should,
come to DC.
Come to DC.
And
then big balls.
You get better. Maybe you get better raises if it turns out that the crime hasn't been that bad.
Exactly. And the mayor rewards your department.
Gets better. You can sell your houses for more because the area is nice.
I mean, it's not a state, but yeah.
Well, that's
property values go up.
Yeah,
you're right.
Because I mean, that's been the proposal. Obviously, this is older news now, but Trump going in and federalizing the district. And Scott Greer was on last night. And we were talking about it, and he was like, "Well, it's not even if they want it; it's to help the DC residents." And I'm like, I don't even really care about the DC residents. I care about the 10,000 or so patriots that are working in the city. They should be able to go to and fro from patriot institutions free of any trouble. Like seeing big balls go down like that really hurt. But yeah, we got a good point on this article. As of Thursday, DC police statistics said that violent crime is down 26% from the same period in 2024, and all crime is down 7%. Again, as we say, that's cap. That's absolutely cap.
Well, we were watching Fox News before the show, and they did a segment on races and violence, which is kind of wild to see on the Will Cain show. But it was like they're breaking down crimes by race over the last 6 years or whatever. And it showed like in 2024, like black crime actually went down and white crime went up. It was DC, right? The stats that they were showing.
Yep.
So it was interesting. So like I don't know if that ties into what we're talking about here, but I thought because I saw that graphic, and I was like, oh, it's interesting. So like it was like white crime was low, 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 and then 2024 it jumps, and then black crime was high, 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 and then 2024 it drops.
You think that's accurate?
I don't know. Like we're looking at this story right here.
So that would imply that the police are falsifying racial crime data.
Well,
I think that's possible too.
Yeah. Well,
the other thing too in DC is 50% of DC carjacking arrests were of minors who were
right.
as young as 12 years old.
Right. That's in Milwaukee.
56% of carjackings.
Yep. Well, that's in Milwaukee too. So like in Milwaukee, they actually started this thing with the. I don't know if you guys heard of the Kia cars.
Boys.
Yeah, the Kia Boys. You've heard of the Kia Boys.
yeah.
So for those in the audience that don't know, it's a bunch of teenagers that figured out how to jailbreak Kias by literally just removing the steering column and putting in a USB cord and turning it like a key. But they figured this out in Milwaukee, and now it's like traveled to different cities to the point where like you can't get a car insured, Kia car insured in Milwaukee. It was that bad.
You can't get it insured.
at all.
It
like
wasn't just Kia, it was Hyundai.
it was Kia and Hyundai because they're the same.
It was all the Korean manufacturers. I
Yeah.
think they faced a big lawsuit
Right.
because of that.
But and one of the guys, I'm forgetting the guy's name, is Mike. I forget what the YouTuber's name was, but he went out and did. He interviewed the Kia boys, and they were all 17 and under,
Yeah.
and they said the reason we do it is because it's fun or whatever, and they're crazy. And also, they only get a misdemeanor.
yeah, and I think if they're
They
underage,
walk out of jail the same day.
It gets sealed. Like nobody, if they're applying for a job, you can't see
Yeah,
it.
so as long as they're
it happened
17 and under. So like, Tim talks about this too. It's come up on the show a lot, but adults will train kids to do these crimes for them in order to, like
Yeah, just like
take advantage of
Oliver,
them.
just like Fagin.
Yeah, that's why you
And
got to go after the
Higgins,
parents
yeah.
with these people. So like these kids, these criminal kids, like, oh yeah, harsher punishment's great. We need to go after the parents. The
Do you
parents
think
should be in
that-
jail.
Do you think that parents should be prosecuted for their
Yes,
children's crimes?
absolutely.
Yes.
We saw that with Ethan Crumbley's parents in Michigan, the school shooter. Both his parents
really
went to
tough.
prison for
They
that.
need to dock
100%
parents' pay.
parents in jail unless the parents have like taken the act of like, what is it called when you separate the kid? What is that called?
Emancipation.
Emancipation. If they're emancipated, fine. If the kid's like a devil child Damien or whatever, fine. But like otherwise, parents jail like immediately. Like get them.
What if you can't find any link between? What if it was like parents
Doesn't matter.
and they've been doing a good job?
Doesn't matter. It's your responsibility. It's just like in the school. It's like you hear this with the police. You hear it in schools. Oh, these kids are bad. Why are they bad? It's the parents. It's
I
not
don't think-
society.
I think there are also people who like do bad things,
Of course.
and like no matter how good the parents is,
Doesn't matter.
Parents are
Once they're under
they show up,
18.
like, and they'll kill their parents. Like
Well,
we
then,
saw this
I
kid
mean,
in
there's places
Florida.
you can put your kids if they're killing people. You know what I
Well-
mean? Like it's up to you to take. Like if they're
They're
like,
also in jail though, because after they would have already done it. So
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like you can put them in
how
military
do you
school.
how do you solve that? Yeah.
Right.
You can put them in military school. You can put them in ROTC. You can like there's things you can do.
They should remove the government
think
benefits
you have a
from
weird
families
view of
that are
parenting.
whose kids are like committing these crimes. If they're exceptionally violent, like you don't
Right.
qualify for SNAP anymore, or you get a deduction in that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I love it.
Like,
Punish.
if you're not
the
going to put
parents.
them in jail, you just hit them their pocketbook.
Yes. Punish them. Take even more of the Kool-Aid or whatever the hell they're buying away from the EBT card or whatever. You know?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what Will Kane was suggesting earlier when we were watching Fox. Because it's like the thing that you can't dance around, and everyone wants to dance around, is there is, unfortunately, there's a racial element to this. I mean, that's what you see over
I'm not
and
even
over.
talking about the race. I'm just talking about like poor
You
kids.
said Kool-Aid.
Well, okay. What are you gonna say? Only one race drinks Kool-Aid. I love Kool-Aid.
I love Kool-Aid too,
Jim
but
Jones was a white guy, and he poisoned his whole
With
Thing
Kool-Aid.
came from.
Kool-Aid.
But it's
That's
bizarre. Like me and Alad, we were in DC like 2 weeks ago, and we were walking around, and there was like a group of like 30, 35 black teens just wandering around the city, and there'd be like 4 or 5 cops just trailing them at all times. And like, if there were a group of like 30 to 35 white kids running around DC, like knocking
militia.
stuff over and beating cars, it'd be like
Jan 6.
start camps up, yeah, like J6, like it'd be insane. And I mean, it's unfortunate, but yeah, there absolutely is like a cultural element to these stories as well. These beatings that they seem to only be tolerated in certain groups.
I think a lot of it is it's just like the woke. The woke always try and put it on racial lines. But I don't think it's. I think part of it's racial lines, but I think the bigger part of it is economic lines. I think
That's a very, very liberal argument.
I'm a '90s Democrat.
Well, if you look at the statistics, the highest tax bracket of Black Americans is a higher crime rate than the lowest tax bracket of white
fair.
Americans.
All I'm saying is like kids that are in really. I was
They
one of them.
they've
I was
only
homeless.
jailed. You were homeless.
I was homeless twice when I was a kid. Like we really grew up on the tough side of Chicago. You know, like.
Oh, you're from Chicago?
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, exactly.
Lower East
So-
Side.
Yeah, I was on the south side and then eventually on the north side, which was nice. But yeah, I mean, it's tough. Like when you don't have any options, you don't have any opportunities. Like you really like everyone always it's like, oh, abortions. But it's like when these kids are in these like horrible situations, like they really don't have options, and then they turn to like selling drugs and like stealing cars.
Well, it is interesting because the only parents that have been prosecuted for their children's crimes have been white parents.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
You know?
They do it in some high schools where it's like if your kid's truant, you go to jail.
Right. I've seen that before. That's like, what is that? Like the restorative justice stuff?
It works.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works.
If
I
their
almost
goal
got-
is to like
yeah.
make money from going after the parents and get fees and get funds, that's what they do. I've seen it like countless times in LA where they won't go and arrest somebody that's clearly doing something illegal because they know that this guy can't pay for anything. They're not going to be able to provide any fees, and then they just like, why would they even waste their time? They look at it as like, oh, this is paperwork that's going to go nowhere, and it's going to be something chasing tail for no reason. So
I knew a lot of people, especially in Chicago, their winter plan was literally committing a crime because they got to go to jail and get three what do they call it, like three
hots in a cot. I've
three
seen it,
three
like,
hots
so
in a
many
cot.
times.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's because there's been just this massive warping of what the purpose of prison is, because I think most people, right and left, view prison as a form of rehabilitation or perhaps even a form of like removing them from the situation. But the point of prison is incapacitation. Like you're trying to incapacitate a criminal from committing a crime because unfortunately, criminal behavior is very easy to predict, and like the reoffense rate is very high. The actual ability for prisons to rehabilitate is very minimal, like I said, because criminals do repeat criminal behaviors. There's a certain disposition of someone that's a criminal. So trying to seek rehabilitation is kind of pointless. Like I said, the view is to incapacitate the criminal before they harm more people.
Remove from public society or polite society almost.
Right, and it's like I said earlier, it's like we have this like bizarre thing that happens in court where they'll plead insanity and that like reduces their sentence, and it's like if you're insane, that's the best reason to go to jail. It's like I'm so insane that I can't possibly function in society. It's like that's actually the best reason to remove someone, but instead, because we have this false view of prison that it's like a form of rehabilitation, we're just going to keep doing this dance around and around again where we can't actually clean our cities up.
We've also gone way too far to the rehabilitation side, and we have dispensed in a lot of cases with punishing criminals because we just look at how do we help the criminals instead of how do we prevent more victims of these criminals. And a lot of the people who go to prison, like they've been doing this stuff for a long time. There are multiple crimes, multiple victims. And it doesn't make any sense to continue to try and remember the 3 strikes and you're out thing? Wasn't that a Bill Clinton thing? It was like, if you get 3 convictions, then you're just in jail. There's no more hope for you. Yeah. And I think that at a certain point, there probably is not a lot of hope for you. If you're not going to turn it around, nobody can turn it around for you.
I'll defend people that get caught in the system. Like it's everyone's choices and they make decisions. But sometimes when you do get caught in the system, it is hard to get out because the expectations and the things they put these people through is really hard. Like
Sure, but you don't need to keep violently assaulting
I understand.
people.
I'm just saying it is hard to get out of the system sometimes when you're in it. I've seen it. But
It's not hard to not kill people, though.
No, of course not. But I guess my point is it goes back to, like, people bring up, oh, let's bring back the insane asylums. I don't like that either because it's our tax money going to insane asylums.
Nowadays it's easier not to fall into that. Like there's so many lefty nonprofits and organizations that are willing to reward people who do bad things. And like we reported on a story recently, there's this woman who's a DACA recipient and she's been charged with all sorts of drug offenses and all that. And she raised $60,000. No, she was going to get deported. She raised $60,000.
Oh, that's great.
Like there's plenty of organizations that reward bad behavior. Yeah. So I think to your point, maybe back in the day it was harder to get out of the system, but now like you commit a crime. There's so much opportunity for you to succeed or to change your life around.
Yeah, that's fair. It has definitely improved since the 90s, absolutely.
But the insane people we have now are so much different than the 90s too. Like the 90s, it's like you're going down the street and like there's a bum, you could flip him a nickel, he'd do like a little dance for you, maybe clean your window. You go by now and there's a 50% chance he's going to stab you.
Yeah. But also that's because in the 90s, the people who were going to stab you were in mental hospitals.
They're in mental hospitals, and it's like so this complete like breakdown where we feel so guilty about like incapacitating people. It's like, well, okay, it's either that or your cities look like they do now. There's no in between. You're not just gonna like give a homeless person keys to an apartment and they're just gonna figure it out.
What about this? I have an idea for the homeless people. Are you ready? This might be a little spicy. This spicy take. Are you ready? When we get rid of the illegals, right? We're gonna need people working on the farms. Put the homeless people on the farms. And here's the kicker: don't pay them.
They wouldn't do it.
Provide them like
People
shelter.
for their
That's a
labor,
spicy take.
obviously.
No. You
Always
give
pay
them food,
people.
you give them shelter, you
So
give them a purpose.
slavery.
Yeah.
Yeah, slave class.
Well, what are they? They're on the streets.
That doesn't mean you
Some of them
enslave
wanna
them,
be on the
Sean.
It's not no. When you go and do a job that you're proud of, you're not being a
No,
slave.
you
we
pay
can pay
them.
them. Sure, that
pay the
part's a
people,
joke.
you pay them.
But that part's the joke. But obviously, like they need jobs. Get them on the. Why are they not on the farm?
The problem is, I think they don't want them. They don't want the jobs. Like you meet a homeless person and you offer them like food. Like a lot, they just want cash because they want drugs.
They've thrown food down that I've given them.
Yeah.
I've given them food like a whole meal, and people will just take it and throw it on the ground.
Yeah,
That
also,
happened,
people
like,
don't want to be
10,
saved.
And if you speak to a lot of people that like
care.
operate or work in homeless shelters, they'll say there's
sad,
actually
man.
spare beds, but you have to get clean to sleep in
Right.
this bed. And these guys, you can actually speak to a lot of them. They're still pretty lucid, and they're like, I'm not ready to get clean yet.
Yeah, they don't want
That's
to
fair.
work. Like I see so many homeless in Dallas that they're like asking for money, but you drive across businesses and they're all hiring. They're looking for people to work, like desperate for staff. And you'll see like grown adults that are on the corner asking for money, and it's like,
I'll just
Doing
keep
that.
they're-
asking,
but-
too. Like one time I gave some guy like $10 and he asked for more and I gave him 5 more. He's like, "Can I have $20?" I'm like, "Can you give me that 10 back?"
yeah, I was in Dallas. I gave a homeless lady some cash, and then she's like, "Well, you got a 20 in there. Give me that too." And I'm like, "What the heck?"
I gave her
Burritos,
cash,
no
and she
thank
pulled
you.
a square reader out and asked me if I
they've
wanted
got
to
the
tip.
APNs
I was
now.
like, what?
I will say there are some Christian organizations out there that do a good job with this. They work with like ex-felons and people that are homeless down on their luck. They do give them jobs, and a lot of their success stories, it's like once they got that job and that purpose back, like it really motivated them. So it's like I don't think all homeless people are like completely like gone. Like I do think some of them can.
But
be
the
saved.
average homeless person is on the street for like a day or two. It's the people you're seeing that are on the street
Fair.
consistently.
Fair.
That means that there's one of two options.
Like
There's
the whole
one,
Skid Row
yeah,
situation.
they're
Yeah,
either
Skid
good
Row,
at
right,
hiding. They're either good at hiding, or there's a reason why there's only a few of them on the street at the same time. And that means you've got a particular disposition to you. So
People
it's
on
like,
Skid want to live there. They
Yeah.
they love Skid. It's LA. I literally worked there for like years. Like they love it. It's the weather's beautiful. They get everything they want. Like you're mentioning too. Like I want them to like take up the mantle of responsibility, but they're not going to. Like,
Yeah,
they'd
but there
rather-
are
they'd
some
rather go
success
spend-
stories. There are. Yeah.
Through those Christian organizations you talked about, but there's so many.
And not
like
just
Tony
Christian, but-
mentioned. There's so many of these organizations that the chances of like someone being down their luck for like longer than like 2 weeks is like extremely slim. And then most of the time it's just because they want to go get fent for like a quarter on the. On
Oh,
the
for
block.
sure. The addicts and stuff, but even that you can overcome.
Yeah, true.
Put them on the farm.
True.
I mean, the equalize situation is already so bad. Do we really want a bunch of junkies making
Telling you to
lettuce?
clean them up, man. They're gonna be in
This
the
lettuce is
soil.
going to get really good.
It's gonna like
sun.
yeah, exactly.
more of that
They get
cabbage?
The sun, they get the vitamin D. It starts oozing out of them. Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
like
God.
it's
Something's
fix
oozing
them.
out of them.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.